Motherfucker.
Hold on, I hope y'all watching this shit.
First round, real quick.
People that are in those training rooms with him know how good
Because he just knocks dudes out real quick in the first round.
Yeah, but now we're gonna get a good. I might fuck with this guy. He just, to me, I thought he was a con artist, just based off his look.
They're edge.
Holy shit! What the hell just happened?
What's up, motherfuckers? Welcome to G.W.R. Gonzo's Wrestling Room. Wednesday, December 1st, 2021. I'm excited for tonight's show. Got special guest Christian Kash with us. This music. There we go. How you doing tonight?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. A little betrayed, backstabbed by the infamous Mike King, but I'm cool, man.
What was up with that? What was up with Mike King backstabbing everybody that night?
Justin is he's a man with a big heart, but I never trusted Mike King. Mike King has never been someone that was really trustworthy. He's just been more of a snake, Or let's say he's bigger on the food chain. Let's say he's a wolf. You know what I'm saying? You don't turn your back because he's gonna attack you.
Yeah, I've seen him do it a couple times now.
Yeah, the ladies' man Mike King versus Christian Kash. That's what the match should have been. And I'd have sent this fat ass packing.
They need to get that match going.
Yeah.
How long have you been in the wrestling business? I think it froze up for a minute.
Three years on the actual show.
You said 3 years. You froze up. There you go. There you are.
3 years on the actual show. Like performing in front of people. 3 years. I started out and I was DJing, and then I ended up ring announcing and other stuff, man. And I got to meet so many legends and stuff, And I got to meet these legends. I'm like, okay, this is dope, because I'm just a young kid from the streets, man, and I'm not used to stuff like that. Like, these people were like larger than life to me. So when I finally see them, in person, and they talking to me like regular people, I'm like, dang, do you not know like what you did for me? But of course they don't,
Yeah. Yeah, because some of them you probably grew up watching.
Yeah, like I just got to meet Elijah Burke, and I used to watch him, man, and I used to think that was so cool when he took the knee pads down and ran over and hit the people with his finisher, and then he ended up being the Pope, D'Angelo De Niro, and he was killing that too. I'm like, dang, this dude is really cool. And so when I finally met him, I'm like, dang, this is dope. And I met JTG, and like I just met a lot of people that are larger than life to me, but they wouldn't expect it. You know what I'm saying?
Did you
just talking to you regular?
Did you go to like a training school, or did?
I was trained by actually Jade Hogg. Jade Hogg taught me everything that I know.
Okay.
Not the flipping stuff like that, but he was telling me that I had it. He like pretty much was telling me like to believe in myself because nobody else would. You gotta believe in yourself for somebody else to get behind you. They don't get behind somebody that don't believe in them,
Yeah.
And so like, yeah, he just boosted me up and stuff like that.
Yeah. So you got your start with the AACW?
AACW is the home of Christian Kash, man. That's where I started. That's when, because I'm one of those people where I'm always in my head and I'm always nervous, So I'm sitting here, and during like before the wrestling show starts, I got to roll around and stuff. And Road Warrior Animal, God rest his soul. You know, like Road Warrior Animal told me when I started ring announcing, he was like, "Look, bro, I seen you rolling around, man. Like nobody asked him to pull me to the side. He just pulled me to the side. He said, if you want it, you gotta take it, bro. Nobody's gonna give it to you. He said, you have to take it. You have to tell them that you're ready." And I was like, what if I don't feel like I'm ready? He said, bro, you have to. He said, don't forget believing it. You gotta know you're ready. He said, and I know you're ready. So you should just go ahead and do it. Just do it. And so that's what I did. And my first match, I got to face Jeffrey Gage. God, Lord. And I lost to Jeff Gage, man. I lost to Jeff Gage, and I was like, okay, how do I bounce back from this? And then I ended up joining the Knights that night. It's led by Travis Southern, and so I ended up attacking Jeff Gage from behind and attacking Lennox King, and I joined the Knights of the Square Circle. I'm actually probably the last, and I'm probably the only one that ever like took a knee and actually was knighted in the ring of AACW. And so we went on to HCW, which is in Mishawaka, Indiana, and I killed it there. But I was just Travis Southern is one of those guys that just kept me doing, bad things, the heel side of everything. And so when I finally had finally got my go back to Justin Terrell, which was me really bashing his name and dragging his name through the mud. Oh, snap. Before I get sidetracked, Mike King. Another reason why I don't like Mike King. Mike King. Mike King. I would have never faced not Jeff Gage. I was going to face him regardless. I would never felt Justin Terrell if it wasn't for for Mike King. Mike King was supposed to face Justin that night. My second match ever. He was supposed to face Justin, and I don't know what happened, but he couldn't make it. And then I ended up facing Justin. And then that whole fiasco happened to where Mike King finally makes his ACW return, and Mike King is doing Mike King stuff, which is stabbing people in the back. A team of 5. You stabbed a team of 5 in the back just to end the career of J.H. Hall. What a piece of shit. What a piece of shit. Give me Mike King, man. I don't care where it's at. It could be at a park. It could be a parking lot brawl. It can be anything. Just give me Mike King.
I'd like to see it. What other organizations have you wrestled at?
HCW. I wrestled in Peru for a little bit. That was Circus City Wrestling. It was CCW. They closed though. I wrestled there. HCW, WCWO, and AACW. I haven't really branched out much, but WCWO is really dope. I really love that company. Yeah, AACW is always home for me. WCWO, I got to wrestle the highlight reel. They're really a great tag team. I haven't got a chance at WCWO to actually show what I can do because, again, I'm one of those nervous people that, kind of, if I'm in my head, I hold myself back. And that's what happened. That's what happened at WCWO. So, I'm not gonna lie to you. They are what they claim to be, which is one of the best tag teams in Indiana. They truly got it. I don't know if the twin power thing is real or not, but let's say Kash and Terrell versus the highlight reel. Let's see what team is really the team. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, that'd be a good one too. Yeah, we saw you down in WCWO a couple weeks ago.
Whew.
I forget who you were tag team. It was a tag team match. I forget who you're tag team with now. We
Panic.
Yeah, we were gonna go down there last Friday, but it was my birthday weekend, and it was the only night my girlfriend had off. So I was like, I better not go to a wrestling show.
Yeah. Hey, look, man. It was fun. I wrestled in a 5-way scramble. I mean, a 7-man scramble. It was crazy. And the night before that, I actually wrestled on Thanksgiving. I wrestled Hodori. Um, Phenomenal talent in WCWO. Nothing but high praise for me. I've I've not had a match where I was thinking, dang, let's do this better. It was like, dang, that was dope. Where can I improve at? I will improve from there, and I feel like I'm getting better and better. I'm breaking that nervous shell in WCWO, which is pretty good. It's cool.
Yeah, we was down there, or we've been down there 4 times now. One time we went down there and done live commentary and live streamed it, and we went down there 3 times just as fans of watching.
Yeah,
And we really like it. We're gonna go down. We're going down this Friday to watch that. Supposed to be Blake Wright against JKO.
yeah, man, it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope. Blake Money Wright is one of those premier talents where the sky's the limit. I can
Yeah, you're cutting in and out again.
see a lot of MJF. Oh, dang. Sorry. Can you hear me now? Am I still cutting in and out?
Now you're good.
Okay. Blake Money Wright is like a MJF, man. He's the premier talent. He's one of those people where you really got to chime in to see. If you've never seen Blake Money Wright wrestle, you're missing out.
Yeah,
It's the talent that you never knew you needed until you see him.
yeah, he has a lot of talent, and Dex Royal. I think he has a whole
Yeah.
lot of talent too.
Dex Royal is freaking phenomenal. Oh man, the things that man can do in the ring is just. It's so many people there that just have it, that are they're just really dope people, and the coolest thing about them is it's not even the fact that they are that great in the ring, but they're down to earth people. Like when you just talk to them regularly, like they're down to earth people. They're cool people. So I really like them. I really like WCWO.
Yeah, we've had a bunch of them. Well, about all of them's been on our show now doing interviews, and all of them have seemed like real good guys, and they just seem like a big family down there.
Yeah,
You gonna be there this Friday?
yeah, I will be there. I'll be there Friday. Work had me jammed up, so I didn't make it to any of the into the trainings. But I'm gonna see if they got one Thursday. I'm gonna try to make it to the Thursday one. But I'll be there. I'll be there Friday for sure.
When we done live commentary down there, we got a chance when we were setting up for the show. It was on a Sunday. They were having training, and we got to see got to watch some of it with Jake Oman in there. I'll tell you what, I was impressed.
Yo, Jake Oman is a beast. Well, what he probably wouldn't, say this, but I feel like he's a living legend. Like I feel like Jake Oman is one of those guys where he's like really that good to where like not only is the sky the limit, but working under somebody like Jake Oman, like what's beyond the clouds, what's beyond the stars, that's your, you don't have a limit after Jake Oman gets done with because he's that good. He's that good.
Yeah, I've been surprised. I've always been surprised that he's never got like a contract with one of the bigger companies because, man, every time, I've always thought he's been real good, and I've seen him. About 15 years ago was the first time I saw him wrestle.
He's that good, man. Like Jake Oman is one of those guys where if the big leagues don't pick him up soon, then they drop the ball on themselves. because that's how good Jake Ullman is.
Yeah, I know. My dad's been a wrestling fan since he was a little kid, and he was with me at that show, and he's in there watching that training. And that's all he talks about it a lot. Is just because, man, I was so impressed of how he had what he had them guys doing, and how I was like, yeah, it was pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, he's one. When I was talking to him the other day, man, he was like, "Look, when you're training and you want to be a wrestler, he said, if you're not devoting your time, you might as well just go ahead, get out now. You're supposed to be training at least 5 hours a day, at least 5 hours, and that's like bare minimum.
Yeah,
5 hours a day,
that's a
and
that's a lot of time in
he's
one
right.
day.
It is a lot of time, but
especially if you're trying to work another regular job and stuff.
yeah, but sacrifices has to be made if you wanna make it in this business. There's a lot of people like let's say Brody Botkins. Brody Botkins, he's one of those guys where he wants to make it. He's gonna sacrifice that sleep, you know?
Yeah.
And I know he's gonna sacrifice that sleep because I literally beat the hell out of him in a match. And he kept coming. He kept coming. He kept coming like I was a double cheeseburger. You know, he's fat, so he kept coming like he won the seconds. Like the fans bring the weapons match, man.
Yeah, I've been trying to find footage of that match.
I got you, man. I'll send you a link. But I tell you, I literally beat the fuck out of this man in this match. You know, like I knew he was gonna bring it. He knew I was gonna bring it. Man, he slammed me through 2 tables. One was on fire. Like Brody Botkins, he has all the talent in the world. But until he leaves from underneath Travis Southern's nutsack, he's only going to be second place.
So every time we've seen him, we've been impressed with him for a bigger guy. He can move. He's athletic. I mean,
and he's in the shadow of Travis Southern, just like I was. I was in the shadow of Travis Southern, and then they gave me a mic, and I spoke, and then I got more, and then the world champion all of a sudden is not the main event anymore because people are coming to see Christian Kash, and I guess that drove him to stabbing me in the back, and then he gets Brody Botkins, and now Brody Botkins is doing his bidding. And now Brody Botkins is getting more exposure. So now Brody Botkins is about to get stabbed in the back. Or maybe he's too big to get stabbed in the back. Maybe that's why he got the Hawaiian Hitman with him.
I was about to get ready to say he has the Hawaiian Hitman now, doesn't
he? Yeah. Yeah. The Hawaiian Hitman.
I think that young guy has a lot of ability as well.
That young man looked like he was trying to kill me the last show. He put me in this submission and he wouldn't let go. He didn't let go. So next time I see him, you know, I don't think I'm going to speak words. I think I just want to fight. I think that's what it comes down to. So I know how strong he is when it comes to like holding on to somebody. But I want to see how strong he is when he let his hands go.
Who were some of the guys that you looked up to in wrestling when you were younger? And
man, listen. So my number one is The Rock. All right, I'm a huge Rock fan. So everything I used to do, like even right now to this day, like. Sometimes I catch myself and my eyebrow will be up because I used to practice it every day in the mirror. I used to always want to, I literally wanted to be The Rock. I had some tighty whities, man. I wrote on the back of it, The Rock. like, man, I literally wanted to be The Rock. But Randy Orton is another one that I looked up to. Go ahead. Randy Orton, I didn't like Triple H. I was not a Triple H fan. Triple H pissed me off. He used to beat The Rock, and Yes, he did. He used to beat The Rock all the fucking time. I hate him. I hated Triple H. But I did love Shawn Michaels, which is really weird because I hated Triple H, but I love Shawn Michaels. And you would catch me doing the DX chops. Edge and Christian were another one of my favorites, but the Hardy Boys were so much more to me than Edge and Christian. It was so much stuff, man. It was so much stuff going on to where, like I don't know. I don't think there was too many people that I didn't look up to. Because I grew up in the Attitude Era, which switched over to the Ruthless Aggression era, that switched over again to the New Era, which CM Punk was another one that I really liked and I looked up to.
I think we lost him for a second. Oh, having we lost him for a second, having a technical difficulty. I'm sure he's probably going to call. He'll probably call right back here in just a second. There he is. We're having technical difficulties here. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. Yep.
Okay. Did you? What was the last thing I left off on, man?
Let me remember.
Man, my favorite wrestlers, man. The Rock, Randy Orton. Like I looked up to everybody. You couldn't catch me not doing the wrestling quote chant. It wasn't a lot of people that I didn't like. But it's really crazy because a lot of people look up to Triple H, and you would assume that someone that loves wrestling like me would like Triple H. And I like Triple H, but I hate that man. I truly did. Like growing up, I hated Triple H. I didn't cheer for him. I didn't want to see his movies, which I'm glad Blade Trinity sucked, and the rest of his movies went to DVD because he can't be The Rock. You can't beat The Rock at everything. How about that, Paul Levesque? Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching the Ruthless Aggression 2 series that they have on WWE Network.
Mm-hmm.
That's what actually it's on now too. But I've been watching that, and they were earlier. It was a whole episode about The Rock, and I was cracking up
Because The Rock he's truly something. He's a different type of person. Like he's one of those people that's larger than life, but he's also humble. You know, and it's rare to see stuff like that, especially with somebody that's such a superstar, such as The Rock. And the people in the back, when I say The Rock is the greatest of all time, they go, "You shut your mouth," and they go crazy on me because I think The Rock is the greatest of all time. That's my opinion, but when they hear it, they go ballistic. And then y'all call me the people's champ, so I bust Shane's ass. I said, "You heard what they called me when I walked through that curtain? I told you, I'm The Rock." He goes, "Oh man, here he goes."
Who do the guys?
They should have never called him that. Said, nope, it's too late.
Who do the guys in the back think the greatest of all time is?
Some people say Ric Flair. They say Shawn Michaels. Well, if you talk to Brody, you know he'll be like, "Oh well, Shawn Michaels is the greatest of all time." I'm only saying that because I seen your podcast. I'm gonna talk to him. If I see him again, because he likes to sneak attack me, I'm gonna show him. I'm gonna show him how to fight. You know, man to man, mano a mano. You can catch a 2-piece in a biscuit. But but he was like, Shawn Michaels is the greatest of all time. He's the Michael Jordan. He's the, you know, but The Rock is better than him. That's why Shawn Michaels retired when The Rock came in, and then he all of a sudden wanted to hit him with a super kick, but he never wanted to have that match. That's why that one match never happened. The Rock versus Shawn Michaels. The Rock would have whooped his ass from here to fucking Beijing. That's what would have happened. But it's all right. It's all good.
So I was a big Stone Cold fan too.
I loved Stone Cold. However, fuck Stone Cold. Did you see what he did to The Rock? Did you see what he did to The Rock? All right, my first WrestleMania ever WrestleMania to watch was WrestleMania 17, and I finally got to watch it with my godmother, Miss V. God rest her soul. She had got it for us. And WrestleMania 17 was The Rock versus Stone Cold, right? And Vince McMahon and Stone Cold decided to join forces to beat The Rock, and it pissed me off. I'm in the house throwing over, tipping over pizza boxes, smacking all the paper cups down. I mean, I was so mad. Where was I at? Was that Fort Wayne or South Bend? It was South Bend. Yeah. I was hurt. It was like when The Rock lost, I literally lost. Like I felt like they were attacking me.
Yeah, they were showing some clips of The Rock and Stone Cold going at each other earlier. And
man, Stone Cold is truly, he was that man. You couldn't deny Stone Cold. However, I'm a Rock fan, so forget Stone Cold.
I think everybody at one point was a Rock fan.
Yeah.
I was a Rock fan, but I mean, I think my best ever is Ric Flair, but The Rock's right up there too, and I think Stone Cold's up there. But
yeah,
Ric Flair to me, I grew up. He was one of the first guys I started watching when I was real little, and then
yeah, Ric Flair is, you know what I'm saying, to beat the man, you got to beat to beat a man, you got to beat the man. Ric Flair is truly he's truly iconic. He's one of those guys that, like, he's endless, you know. Time kills all, you know, but Ric Flair is infamous. He lives forever.
And him and The Rock are names where even if you're not a wrestling fan or ever watched wrestling before, if somebody says them names, you know who they are.
Yeah. Yeah. Hulk Hogan is another one like that though.
Yep.
There's no one that don't know who Hollywood Hulk Hogan is. I didn't like him neither though, which is really weird.
I'll never forget seeing when I was a real little kid at WrestleMania watching Hogan slam Andre the Giant.
Yeah, man.
I remember watching that. I was a little kid. I remember where I was at and everything.
It was the first time Andre left his feet. Time Andre left his feet on national television. Hulk Hogan slammed Andre the Giant, the eighth wonder of the world. And then, you know, fast forward to WrestleMania 18, and The Rock is whooping his candy ass all over the arena. Yeah. So
I watched that today.
He was dope, but that's who Brody Botkins kind of remind me of. Bam Bam Bigelow.
Remember he fought LT?
Oh yeah.
Taylor.
Yeah, the linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
Curator Bell said that Flair is the answer, hands down.
Yeah, but the curator can curate these nuts. He's always against me. Jordan Bell is nothing more than a fake wrestler with a Jimmy Hart gimmick. All right, the mouth of the South. That's what he does. He might as well come out with a megaphone just to annoy the fans, and not call it down the middle, man. He became commissioner. He let that go to his head. He turned on the fans within one show. He started calling Lucha Creato, Loser Creato. He just did the most, and then we found out he was scared of clowns. Like, he just did the most. Wiped off some of the dust and stuff. But
Out of them guys that you were talking about, how you liked a lot of them guys, is there any of them that inspired like your gimmick and stuff when you got into the business?
um, the Dudley Boys really inspired. I think me and Justin tag team because I mean we wear the camos and we come out and we wore the overalls too. So like the Dudley Boys, I can say definitely inspired me as far as like tag team wise. It's something like
One of the best tag
also
teams ever.
yeah, they're just that good. They're that good to where they couldn't be denied, and that's where a lot of our moveset come from as a tag team, as a unit. But personally, like my gimmick right now is probably I say like my singles career. I'm probably gonna be inspired by The Rock. Booker T is another one.
Yeah, Booker T.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna get the trunks and stuff. I got to pick up my trunks and stuff. But it's it's pretty much it's gonna be a whole bunch of people put into one. I think the first gear that I ever got created though was I thought about the Black Panther, the movie Black Panther, and I got a tribute to that in my first gear versus trying to be like getting it inspired by Rock and Randy Orton collage. I didn't want to do too much, so I wanted to be me. I'm one of those nerds that ended up having this dream come true. So I decided to go with Black Panther. I'm huge into Marvel. I'm huge into DC. I was going to go with Batman, but I ain't know. You know what I'm saying? How many? And I was like, everybody's gonna come out with a Black Panther, a Batman or a Wolverine or something like that. So let me go outside the box, and I decided to go with Black Panther.
Shane Calvert said, "No trunks, long tights always."
I wanted the tights, man, but I got it made by somebody that made them into trunks. Also, did you see our world champion? It's
Uh,
okay, no one did. No one did. Rick Vidal, this is an open challenge right now. Since you didn't have a match at our last show, our go home show, how about you put your title on the line since you Mr. Blow Up King, quote unquote. How about you versus Christian Cash for the world championship? And how about we do that whenever you know what I'm saying, get ready instead of you trying to be daddy of the year, which we know you're just going to run to work. You're not even going to be there. So you might as well just defend your title.
yeah, I've heard the name, but he didn't wrestle that night we were up there.
Nah, he didn't. He didn't wrestle, man. But he said some choice words about me, so I'm issuing a challenge for his title right now. So that's where that is. Uh, and Travis Southern, he keep running his mouth on me, then I'm gonna put his fat self back in place too.
He's going to be on next. He's coming on the show next week.
This is what he says. All right, he's gonna say he took 2 weeks to train for a championship match against me, but it only took 1 week to beat him. 2 weeks was just for me to get my body right. If I'd have had 3 weeks, even Brody Barkins wouldn't have been able to distract me from beating him. So yeah, it only took me 2 weeks. It took me 2 weeks to get your number and almost beat you. Without any distractions, I would have beat you, Travis. It only took me 2 weeks to be better than you. 2 weeks of training to become better than you.
2 weeks
All right?
isn't 2 weeks isn't very long.
It isn't very long because he has a 20+ year career. 2 weeks versus a 20+ year career. You do the math.
Are you
A bit better.
are you going to pursue more of a singles career, or you still or the tag team?
I want to pursue. I want to pursue both. I got to see what Justin wants to do. But right now, I will pursue what all challenges present themselves to me, because like with the music, I've been doing music since middle school. Was that middle school when I first started? I've been doing music since middle school, and I love music, and so that became my number one passion, and all along, like this whole time, I've always been a wrestling fan. I've been watching it and stuff like that, but I was always music, and I wanted to become a musician. I finally got my chance, and I perform, and then I leave my book bag at the place, and then DJ Pew calls me and he's like, "Yo, your backpack is in front row." So I go in there, and I find a ring, and I go, "Yo, it's a ring in here. Like, what are y'all doing there? Like wrestling?" I was like pro wrestling. It's like, yeah. And so I get up there, and I do a swanton bomb off the top rope. All right, a swanton bomb, laying flat on my ass. Boom, knocked the wind out myself. I got up though, and they was like, "You good?" I said, "Yeah, let's go." So I get to doing all types of stuff, and then they freaking film me talking shit while training. They film me talking shit while training, so I end up training, talking shit, and eventually, I got better. I got better from there.
See, Curator Bell says, looks like the title Justin Terrell won for Mr. Cash is going to his head. Wow, and they think I'm a prima donna.
Oh man, tell him he gonna have to get his girlfriend to stop painting cheetah prints in his head. He's letting that get to his head. He's racing at this point. His mind's racing, and it ain't going to positive places. Tell him to slow down. He's not. That's not working.
And Kowser said that video of you training and talking shit is some of the greatest stuff ever.
Man, thank you. I appreciate that, man. I truly do. You know what's crazy? One of my godfathers, Big Red, he was a wrestler too. He used to do the wrestling inside of his church over here in Indianapolis, and Shane Cowser was wrestling as the executioner back then. So he wrestled for me as a kid, when I was a kid, and then I didn't know that when I first started wrestling with him, and then I heard them mention Big Red, the preacher from Indianapolis, and I'm like, wait a minute, is that? And then I was like, yo, I watched you wrestle as a kid, and he's like, I think that's impossible, bub. And I'm like, nah, look, bro, I'm serious. Was it a red church? He go, yeah. I go, yeah, that was me, man. I was sitting down there, and I watched y'all wrestle, and I was waiting for like somebody famous to come out, because I was watching WWE. Like, I was literally watching WWF, WWE at the time. So we was always like, where's The Rock and stuff like that. But The Rock and them didn't come out. So my first exposure to indie wrestling was Shane Cowser as the executioner and Big Red wrestling.
Shane said to go get some meds for your cold.
Yeah, I do. I do need some.
You see, like we started watching, we went to an independent show when my son was little, and we had a little birthday party thing there. Well, they let my son get on the top rope, and they pulled him out of the crowd, and he went and pinned the guy. And it was only people in the crowd was like 10 of his friends, because this was before the show started, and didn't even think about who it was. But then now we went and done commentary at DCCW, which Mike King runs. Well, Mike, it was Mike King that my boy had jumped off the top rope and done the splash on.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Because I'm gonna do a splash on Mike King when he faced me in the ring too. I'm gonna do the exact same one, and I'm gonna pin him 1, 2, 3, just like the son did.
Next time I talk to him, I'm gonna tell him we need to get that match here in Muncie. Do it right.
Okay.
Do it on DCCW.
All right. Tell him no cheating neither. Don't be bringing out no. I don't want to see. I just want to see Mike King. Bring it out, Siraj. Just me. Just you. 101.
I'm surprised he ain't in here in the comment section. He usually jumps on and every now and then it'll say something. He froze up again. I think we lost him again. He froze up. So I'm sure we'll get him back here in just a second. Oh, yep. He'll probably he'll jump back in here in just a second. Having technical difficulties again. It's been a good conversation so far. He's starting to come back. Went back to the screen like he was coming back. There he is.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, yeah, like I was saying, Mike King, you know what I'm saying? It takes a true king to dethrone another king. So I'm going to just make him a court gesture. He been a clown.
Oh, what do you think the hardest thing about the independent wrestling scene is?
The hardest thing about the independent wrestling scene is believing. The hardest thing is believing. I'm going to explain that. A lot of people think, oh, well, I'm a pro wrestler. You know, I do this, I do that. And it's like, okay, what else do you do? You know what I'm saying? Like, what makes you stand out? And a lot of people fight for trying to stand out versus trying to be themselves. And if you don't believe it, like I said earlier, if you don't believe in yourself and you don't believe in what you're doing, then the fans will not believe in you. And that's the it factor that you don't have, is you don't have it because you don't believe it. And so believing is one of the hardest things. I think any pro wrestler, indie scene, any even in WWE or whatever, like, if you feel like you don't belong there, that's okay. If you prove that you don't belong there, that's where you messed up. You have to believe in yourself first. Believe in like you gotta know your worth. You gotta believe in yourself.
Yeah, and when you went back, when you said that even for like guys that are in WWE, I just remember seeing a thing today. It was Ric Flair. It was about Evolution, about how they started that Evolution group, but they were talking about how Ric Flair had lost his confidence and wasn't the same guy and stuff, and they had to kind of take him under his wing and get him to believe again.
You gotta, it happens to the greatest. It happens to the greatest of wrestlers, you know? Like, everybody doesn't always, they're not gonna always have that belief system. Like, Ric Flair was like, I don't think I can do this no more, you know? And he could, because look at his last match against Shawn Michaels in the WWE. It was phenomenal. It was an excellent match.
Yeah.
You know, Ric Flair had that the whole time, but Ric Flair stopped being Ric Flair when Ric Flair stopped believing. And that's the issue with a lot of indie wrestlers. Like, yeah, you believe you can make it in the indie scene, but you don't see yourself further than that. You gotta push yourself further than that, and you gotta make it there. They're not gonna come. WWE is not gonna come knocking at your door unless you kick that wall down. You kick that wall down, you make them want you because you are that damn good. Like, not to quote Triple H, but you got to be that damn good to where they trying to knock the door down to get to you.
Yeah.
You know,
because there's so many people competing for them spots.
Yeah, there's so many people competing for them spots, but AJ Styles didn't go to NXT.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Like, AJ Styles became bigger than TNA. And then he left. He left TNA. And then Bullet Club was really popping when AJ Styles joined it.
Yep.
You know, so it's like that name made his value and his marketing so much bigger than that. So WWE, when they finally threw that price at him, of course they're not gonna let him go. Go ahead. Of course they're not gonna let him go because AJ Styles is really what he said he was. Phenomenal. He's somebody that you can't let go. He's somebody that believes in what he does. He believes in himself enough to where we have no choice but to believe in everything he does, everything he says, because he proves it night in and night out.
Yeah.
That's why if I was to tell anybody that was coming into wrestling or anything like that, they go, what is one thing that I have to work on? I'm not going to tell them, oh, you need to work on your confidence. You need to believe in yourself first. Because I can believe in you all day and all night long. But if you're not believing in yourself, there's only so much belief that I have in you. My belief isn't going to be greater in you than it is in myself.
Yeah.
Unless you make it that way. The reason why I can believe in the Blake Money Wright character is because I feel like Blake Money Wright believes in himself to where it's too much. It's too much not to. You work harder to not believe in him than you do to believe.
Yep. Yeah, well, I think Blake Money Wright's psychology is great.
Yeah. There's so many things though, man. There's so many things that pro wrestlers look at. Like, they be like, oh, I want to do backflips. I want to do super kicks. I want to do, the flashy moves are cool, but you can be a flashy wrestler and none of the fans can like what you do.
Exactly.
And it's because we know you're not being you. You're being everyone else.
Yep. That's you see
know,
that a lot. I think you see that more nowadays than you used to, because you'll get matches where it's just all that flippy flop stuff, and nothing against that. I like seeing that sometimes, but I don't want to see it every single match on the card.
Yeah, like one person in particular. All right, CM Punk, right? CM Punk is a high flyer, but CM Punk does a dive through the ropes and an elbow drop. CM Punk isn't jumping to the top rope to do a front flip. He isn't throwing 17 sweet chin musics. He's not doing all of that. Instead of a sweet chin music, which is AKA the super kick, he's throwing roundhouse kicks. Like, make yourself different. Don't be everybody else. Because if you do what you always done, you can always be where you always was.
Yeah.
You gotta believe that.
Well, and that's like kind of what had happened to Dolph Ziggler. He was basically trying to be a miniature a copy of Shawn Michaels with all the super kicks and stuff, and you can only get so far with that.
Yeah.
And I think Dolph could have been a pretty big star.
Dolph Ziggler is, to me, he is a big star, but he isn't one of those people where I feel like he lost it. He lost belief. He lost his belief in himself, and that's why he didn't. Because you were the sole survivor on Team Cena in fucking Survivor Series.
Yeah.
There's your big push. what are you gonna do with it? You know, you gotta make them believe in you.
He was never able to take advantage of when he got the
Yeah,
big push.
yeah, that right there, you know, and he's a multi-time world champion. But I want to believe in you more than what you've already showed. You know, you can show me that, you know, you can show me sparks of excellence, but if you don't show excellence through and through, then I can only believe in you sometimes.
Yeah, you gotta be consistent.
Yeah, because it only feel like you only believe in yourself a handful of times. That consistency is a killer.
What's your goal or end game in the wrestling business?
I want to wrestle at WrestleMania, but I want to wrestle at WrestleMania on my terms. Like I want to bring WrestleMania to the Lucas Oil Stadium. I know it was just an article about it or whatever, but I've been talking about this for years. I don't care if I'm at WrestleMania or not, honestly, but I want to sell out the Lucas Oil Stadium, and that's just like that's my short term goal. I want to be like one of the greatest of all time. Like I want my name to be mentioned with The Rock. You know, the Stone Colds, the John Cena's, the CM Punks, the Randy Orton's, the all of that. I want my name to be mentioned with them. The Shawn Michaels, all of them. I want my name to be mentioned with them. But I want them to mention my name. Like I think if The Rock would have wrestled Christian at a certain time, both in their prime, I feel like Christian would have won. You know, I want them to have that hope, that belief in me, like I have in myself. Like I want them to think that when Christian is in that ring, there's nobody that can beat him. I want them to think that, and then I want them to know it. You know,
Yeah,
because I can beat whoever I'm standing across from. I can beat them because I believe in myself that much to where there shouldn't be a doubt in my mind.
yeah, and when there gets a doubt in your mind, that's when that's what can hold you back from getting to your goals.
Yeah, if there's a doubt in my mind, I should hang it up because I'm in the wrong business.
So I like your answer because there's only been a couple guys that I've asked that question that said WrestleMania. Most people say like to make it to AEW or WWE, which okay, that's a good goal. But if you're not doing it to try to be the best at it, why are you doing it?
Yeah, I want to say, like, when I say I want to sell out WrestleMania, the Lucas Oil Stadium, bro, this has been my goal. It's been my dream since the Lucas Oil Stadium was built. Like for the Indianapolis Colts, I was like, I'm going to sell that building out.
I've been waiting on them to have a WrestleMania there since they built that stadium.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? We haven't had a WrestleMania here since what, WrestleMania 7?
Yeah, it is crazy.
But with the Hoosier Dome, nah, y'all can't keep on sleeping on Indianapolis like that. We have a great city. This city is great.
It's set up perfect for events like that.
Yeah, we have wrestling. We have wrestling fans. You got to believe in your fans enough to where you got to understand that if it's WrestleMania, they are going to come from all across the world, just like they will in Texas, just like they will in wherever else you want to sell out. Florida, like they will come. It's WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's going to sell out no matter where you have it at.
Yeah, it's the Super Bowl of pro wrestling. Prove it. Go to every state. Sell out their stadium. You got to prove that you're the Super Bowl of professional wrestling. WrestleMania is losing its touch because not only do the wrestlers, like some of them don't even believe in what they're doing. And that's why you're getting stale ass WrestleManias lately. Like some of the WrestleManias lately have been stale. It takes away from the moments that happen, like Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. It was a great moment on a stale card. Yeah, you have to fight for what you believe in. And if you don't fight for what you believe in, well, you see the results. People are getting cut left and right. People that we are like, dang, they were main event. I don't believe they got cut. But they didn't believe in themselves enough. You got to make those changes.
Do you think since they moved the WrestleMania to 2 days instead of just one big show, do you think that's That's hurt it.
That could hurt it. It could hurt it. But honestly, as a kid, the kid in me, I'm like, WrestleMania twice.
Yeah.
Snap, you know? So I get to watch WrestleMania Saturday and I get to watch it on Sunday. This is dope. This is one of the greatest things ever. But they have to prove it. You have to show it. Like every match on WrestleMania 17 was important. Every match on WrestleMania 18, 19, 20, they were important. They were important enough to where every match count. That was John Cena versus Big Show for the United States Championship match. That was a big deal. You know, like when things like that are a big deal, then the wrestlers feel like they're a big deal. We can't, you know what I'm saying? Like that's why the belief system is boosted up so much, because we give a fuck about you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I have a wrestling company and I'm putting out my belief in all of y'all and I'm promoting every match becomes that much more important. Every match becomes that much more real. Because I'll tell you right now, it's not ballet. You know what I'm saying? I understand ballet is tough, but wrestling hurts like a motherfucker. And I've done MMA. I've done boxing. Wrestling hurts.
I got in there and took 3 chops, and that didn't feel too good.
Nah, chops hurt like a bitch.
Dex Royal, JKO, and Max Sterling got me after one of the DCCW shows.
I can tell you right now, JKO got some of the hardest chops in the business.
Yep. He got me the best. He was the second one that hit me. Yep, he got me the best. I was bruised for a week.
Yeah. They was talking about taking chops or whatever one night, and I seen JKO lined up to give chops, and I said, nah, I ain't getting in that line. Shit, why would I want to get chops?
Well, it was the first show we'd done commentary at, and there was another podcast there too. Well, they brought one of them guys in the ring, and they gave him a chop. It didn't even look that hard. It was just one chop, and he got it out of there. Well, then they started calling us out when we were up in the balcony, and my one guy that's usually with me, he disappeared. He went and hid, and the guy that operated our camera, he kind of backed off. So I guess I'm going down there because one of us have to go because the other podcast went. We're gonna look like little bitches if we don't.
Mm-hmm.
So I go down there thinking I'm just gonna get one chop. Next thing I know, they pulled my shirt over my head, and I got 3 of them.
They lit your ass up.
Oh yeah.
Wrestling is way more real than what people think. It's a contact sport.
Yeah, people say, "Oh, it's fake. It's not real." No, it's choreographed, but you're still getting hit. They'll say, "Oh, they know how to land." How do you learn how to land?
Yeah, learn how to fall.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And here's the thing about people that say that. Like the last person was like, "Oh, wrestling is fake," and woo blah blah blah. I said, "Wrestling fake?" They said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay." I said, "Do it. Show me a wrestling match that you can do like me, or show me that you can take a chop." He said he ain't want to wrestle. I gave him a chop. He said, "Oh shit," and he said, "I apologize."
Oh yeah.
From that day forward, he been like, "Yeah, I'm gonna come and wrestle, man." I said, "All right, cool, man. When you want to go?" And he was like, "Tomorrow." And I call him the next day, and he act like he sleep. Yeah, no, yeah. Wrestling is one of those professions that got a bad rep on being fake. That is far from the truth.
Yeah, it's not any different than watching a movie or anything else. All that stuff is pre-planned, and people like it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like when you watch football, you know what I'm saying, when the plays that they ran is choreographed because they practice that shit.
Yeah. Hell, and sometimes I think the games are scripted anyway, the way the referees are.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like all them calls that the Colts got against the Buccaneers.
Oh,
I clearly lost some money. That's why I bought it. Man, it's like the Buccaneers didn't get none of the pass interference calls that they was doing. But nonetheless, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah, Colts keep blowing games.
yeah, yeah. That's where I'm going to disagree. I'm a huge Colts fan. We just lose sometimes. That's all.
Yeah,
We bounce back.
I'm a huge Colts fan too. I think Frank Reich. I like him, but sometimes he gets too aggressive, and then other times he gets too passive. Find that happy medium.
I felt like he was way too passive to be facing the Buccaneers.
Yeah,
I felt we should have ran it. We should have ran it the whole time. We showed that we could run the ball on them with Jonathan Taylor that one drive, and then we didn't go back to him. Like
he ran the ball one time. Never did touch the ball in the third quarter.
yeah, I don't even think he touched it in the second quarter. I think he touched it
The first and fourth.
like 3 times in the first quarter, and that was it.
Yeah, I didn't understand that at all.
Yeah. I guess they was trying to catch him up by surprise because it was like, oh, they want Jonathan Taylor to run, so we're not going to. Then we lost the game because you didn't put the ball in his hands.
That and turnovers.
Man.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it fake though, because that's not, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That don't make football fake. Like that doesn't like just because I train my moves and stuff like that, and I get my moves better. That doesn't make my wrestling fake.
No.
And I can still snap your neck with a cutter. I can still break your fucking face with a super kick. I can still end your life with a DDT. Like, you got to understand that this shit is real. Like, people saying, oh, that's fake. Okay. I bet you I can fucking kill you in 2 seconds. But
does that happen a lot in independence where guys get like pissed off at each other and give them a shot a little harder than normal?
Oh yeah, a lot. There's times where wrestlers will be like, you know what? I don't like there's certain people that don't like each other, and they go, look, if you book me against this dude, it's not gonna be a wrestling match. It's gonna be a shoot, which is I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna beat his ass. All right. The other person is gonna be like, you know what? I refuse to let this motherfucker beat my ass. Not in front of all these people. Shit, I'm gonna beat his ass. And they're literally out there, nose bleeding, mouth bleeding, probably swollen up, eyeballs and stuff like that. They gotta come back and then shake each other's hands and say thanks for the match, even though one of y'all just literally got knocked the fuck out. Yeah. So it's so sick. And those shoot matches be the greatest, but they are the most dangerous because you can cut somebody's career short by having a shoot match versus a regular match.
Yeah, cause you get mad and have a shoot match like that. Somebody could get seriously hurt.
Yeah, like have I gotten into a shoot match? Nah. But there's a lot of people that go into there and they think, oh well, wrestlers, they do fake fighting, they do fake wrestling. You know, well, you get in that ring and you find out how fake it is.
I think you froze up again. Try to come back.
If you can't take a hit, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, you cut out for a second. But I can hear you now.
Okay. What's the last thing you
heard? You said that you hadn't been in a shoot match.
No, I haven't been in a shoot match. But I tell you what, people that say that wrestling is fake and blah blah blah, and that's fake fighting, fake wrestling, get in the ring and find out how fake it is. If you can't do that, I suggest you shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's what I always tell people. If you think it's fake, go to go watch an independent show where you're up close and you can see it, and then tell me it's fake.
Yeah. You tell me that this person slamming somebody's head into the fucking mat is playing with them. You tell me that that's fake.
I had one
You
person tell me, "Oh, that ring is soft." I said, "That ring isn't soft. It has a little give to it, but it's not soft."
It's not a soft ring. If I slam you on that damn ring and I knock the wind out you, then what? You got knocked out by a bed? It's not a bed. It's not. It's not a bed. What did they say in the NWO when they first started the NWO? The Outsiders. They said this is where the big boys play. And they said, listen to that adjective. Play. We don't play. Wrestling isn't for play. It's not a play thing.
Yeah.
Like you can go ahead and think that wrestling is fake. You can think that you can play with wrestling, and then you can really get your ass destroyed out there. You gotta understand that this ain't something that somebody's playing with. This is somebody's livelihood. We dedicate ourselves to this. We put our bodies on the line. I got slammed through a burning table. You think that felt good?
Oh yeah. People say, "Oh, they set it up somehow." It's crazy all the different things people try to say.
Was you really on? That's one question that really pisses me off more than anything. When people that seen the match go, "Were you really on fire?"
Yeah.
If I really put gasoline on you and light the match, will you really be on fire?
Yeah. How do you fake being on fire?
Yeah, like people are crazy, man.
In your experience in the independents, has it been where most of the guys are good or get along and help each other, or is it or do you see a lot of guys that don't get along and always wanting to bicker and stuff? I've heard horror stories, but the organizations I've been at, everybody seemed more like a family. But I've heard both things.
There can be like horror stories in the independent market. There can be like people that have like their personal lives brought into the limelight, and it can end their career. It has happened to multiple people. I mean, I don't know them to speak on it. So I just know that it happens to people. But the companies that I've wrestled for, like AACW, we are a family. We are a family. Like I do anything to help them guys out. That's family for me. Even HCW is that's family. WCWO, they're family. Like those people are. Once you wrestle for us and we got you, you know what I'm saying, and vice versa, because you want to dedicate and be loyal to people that are dedicated and loyal to you.
Yeah.
And it's like I haven't seen you scratch my back, I scratch yours company turn on somebody. I've never seen it. But then again, I'm not really into politics, so I keep my motherfucking mouth shut and I keep my head down and I keep going about my business. So I don't know. It could have happened, but it'd have been like, damn, I wasn't even there for that.
Yeah. I know at AACW, you guys did seem like a family, and WCWO, like we went down there and done that, commentated and went live stream for them, and then we went down there a couple weeks ago to watch, and I walked back in the back to talk to give Jordan James a T-shirt, and as soon as I walked back there, they were all shaking my hand, giving me a hug and stuff, and I was like, okay, this is cool. Like, you know what I mean? They've already met me 2 or 3 times. But so I mean, and DCCW here in Muncie, the one that Mike King runs, it's like a family as well.
I heard so many things about DCCW that just makes me want to go wrestle there. Like, I hear the crowds are crazy.
Yeah.
In Muncie. And
tell you what, you guys have a pretty good crazy crowd there in Kokomo too.
Man, they're crazy.
That crowd, like that show we done, it was a good crowd. I don't know, that one girl in front of us couldn't have been older than 10 or 11. Hell, she was flipping people off. Told that Wiley, the guy that was the manager with Knuckles.
Mm-hmm.
He came over and sat in commentary with us, and she turned around and told him to shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah, the crowd is crazy.
And I just busted out laughing, but it happens in Muncie too. Hollywood House was doing commentary with us, and some older lady, I don't know, she was older. I ain't gonna say a number, but she was over there just cussing them. Fuck you, and he told her, he goes, lady, I'll knock your last tooth out, and I just busted out laughing right there live on air.
Like, oh, my goodness, man, that's some more people that I would love to work with. Hollywood House, man. Like, now that I'm in the independent scene and I'm watching more independent wrestling, there's so many people that I really, really, really would like to get in there and actually share the ring with, and I just really want to compete with them, and it's just dope to see them, see them doing their thing. Like Hollywood House, they are dope. I think they are like really dope. Well,
and he's a real good guy as well.
I guess I could say, like, we could see, because they are independent again, if somebody pay enough, we could probably see Hit Row versus Hollywood House. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We could possibly see Hit Row versus Hollywood House. That would be dope.
Mm-hmm.
ZF Swerve Scott versus Sam Knight.
Yep. Sam Knight. I thought. Have you met Sam Knight?
I've met him, and he's really. Well, hold on. I don't know if he's a heel or not, so I don't know. But he's a good guy.
Yeah, I haven't got to meet him in person, but I interviewed him, and he seemed like a real good guy.
He's a cool dude. Like, he's really cool. Down to earth, man. He's got a lot of knowledge for this business, and he makes sure everything is everything. I haven't met anyone that I thought was like, oh, he's an asshole. I've never met that person yet.
So I haven't yet either.
Even when they go, oh man, that dude was an ass, he was a dick or whatever, they weren't to me. So I don't know. This is my little brother who came out with me at the ACW show.
Hey, hi. Yeah, I haven't ran into nobody like that, but no. Back in the day, we helped put on some wrestling shows. We worked with Jason Maples, runs that Heroes and Legends, and we done a couple shows here in Muncie, try to help save a community center, and we brought in a couple like older legend guys that used to be in WWE and stuff. Now most of them guys were all nice, but we did run into a couple of them guys that were kind of dicks.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Scott Steiner was one that was it kind of disappointed me, because I always was a big Scott Steiner fan, but just the way he acted towards some kids during that, getting interviews or not getting autographs at an autograph session he was getting paid for, and it was just like, man, dude, you should be talking to them kids like that. But
well, the Scott Steiner.
You cut out.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. Scott Steiner is probably massive, like huge.
Yeah.
Really big. But I've never encountered Scott Steiner, so I wouldn't be able to tell you, oh, he's really nice to me, because I've never met Scott Steiner, so
but like 95% of the guys I have met have been great. Like Jake the Snake Roberts was probably one of the coolest dudes I ever met. I sat down and talked to him for about an hour.
Oh, that'd have been fucking awesome to sit down and talk to fucking Jake the Snake, man. You know who I really want to meet? I really want to meet DDP. He was like one of my favorite wrestlers in WCW.
He'd be good. I'd like to meet him too. He'd be a good one to meet.
Which is really crazy to me, because like, oh, and another one I really want to meet, my favorite, which is the greatest high flyer of all time, since people are watching, Rey Mysterio. I would love to meet Rey Mysterio because he's the greatest high flyer of all time. He's the innovator of all high flyers. And y'all can put some respect on his name or Ida. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, hey, I agree with you. Mysterio is the one to me that started that high flying style here in the United States. Anyway, yeah, I mean, you see a lot of luchadors other places, but he was the one that made it cool to do.
He made it cool. He made it into something like way more than what it was.
And not only that, he was also one of the first smaller guys that got a big push like that and was champion and all that.
Yeah, he was world champ.
Yep. It's crazy though that all that talent WCW had and didn't use it right, and let WWE close them, and then all them guys go to WWE and become your cruiserweight division. If you had just pushed your cruiserweight division, you'd been good.
Yeah, look, Eddie Guerrero.
Yep, Jericho.
Chris Jericho. Chris Benoit. Dean Malenko. Perry Saturn. Rey Mysterio. Like, the list goes on and on. Kid Kash. Like, the list goes on and on. And you drop the ball on all these characters?
Yeah.
You mean to tell me, like, you really gave up on all of these people?
Yeah, because look at Jericho. Jericho's reinvented himself, what, 7 or 8 times?
And it's still relevant.
Yeah.
Still relevant. I used to call him Black. I used to think Chris Jericho was black. I used to think he was a light-skinned man doing lion salts on people. Oh my God.
Yeah, because really Jericho carried AEW for that first year. They wouldn't be where they were right now without Jericho.
Yeah, Jericho is definitely somebody that was like top 5. You know, he got to be top 5. Or like on the list of wrestlers, he got to be like top 5 of all time.
I agree.
He's like a chameleon, man. There's nothing he can't do. There's nothing he can't do. I feel like he gained weight to challenge himself to see if he could still do his moveset. like, cause you seen other wrestlers gain weight, and you're like, oh man, they let themselves go. Like Matt Hardy wasn't moving like Chris Jericho was with weight.
No.
You know, Tatanka wasn't moving like Chris Jericho was with weight. You know. Chris Jericho gained weight and he's still moving like a cruiserweight. He's still doing the lion saw. He's still doing all of this, you know. And
what is he? He's in his probably 50s.
Yeah,
and still
gain weight.
And still can come out, and the crowd will sing the song. you know, he'd have to have music.
Yeah, like you come out and you're like pushing 50 or something like that. Like, one, you're probably not even going to be looked at as a wrestler anymore, but you are doing wrestling. You're still doing it,
and still better than a lot of people at it.
And then you're like still better than half of every roster, like,
and still over with the crowd.
Chris Jericho is still the man. You know, like, you know what? Ric Flair said, to beat the man, you got to beat the man, and I feel like Chris Jericho is the man. You have to be Chris Jericho to consider yourself to be the guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I've seen Roman Reigns beat Chris Jericho.
And that's the other thing about Jericho too. He'll put guys over it as well.
Yeah, MJF. That was like MJF. He didn't need to beat Chris Jericho, but him in that same spotlight with Chris Jericho gave him the exposure that MJF need. So if MJF didn't beat Chris Jericho, but MJF goes in and he beats the top guy right now, which is CM Punk. If he beats CM Punk, his name is synonymous now. But it's because of that spotlight. you went from Chris Jericho to Darby Allin for a split second, but then you go to the most popular wrestler probably in the world today, which is CM Punk, and boom, you then the promos that they cut.
Yeah. Yeah, but I agree. It wouldn't have been as important if he wouldn't have done that with Jericho first.
Yeah, because Chris Jericho gave him that light, that spotlight. Like, yeah, he could be massive, probably without, but he wouldn't have been in the spotlight as soon. Like, even if he did go against CM Punk, this would be like his first time really being in that limelight. Like, people looking at you like, oh shit, But that's Chris Jericho. It's Chris Jericho. He's worldwide. He's known.
Even if you're not a big wrestling fan, you've heard the name Jericho.
If you're a Fozzy fan, so they're like, "Oh, Chris Jericho's on. I wonder what this dude's doing. Oh, who is this guy talking shit to Chris Jericho? Damn, he's talking shit to Chris Jericho. And so
one of my favorite guys right now is Brian Danielson. I almost said Daniel Bryan, but Brian Danielson. I've always been a big fan of his.
He is excellent. He is excellent. Like, Brian Danielson is something truly phenomenal. And then him versus Heyman Page is like, that's another thing that I never knew I needed. Like the MJF versus Chris Jericho. I never knew I needed that until it happened. The same thing I can say about MJF versus CM Punk. He's really that guy. MJF is really that guy, and so is Daniel Bryan. Like,
do you still watch a lot of wrestling, even though you're in the wrestling business?
Yes. Okay. Because I'm a fan first. I don't care how many people are gonna comment and say, "Mark, he's a Mark," and blah blah blah. I am still a huge wrestling fan, and if wrestling is on and everybody is in the room talking, I'm going to tell everybody at the top of my lungs to shut up or get out the room. I don't care if it's loud or not. Like, just shut up and get out. Let me watch my wrestling. Let me be at peace. Like, sometimes I even put on wrestling, like, just to like calm myself down. Like, yo, what toy is that? Turn that shit off.
Yeah, I have WWE Network on now. I don't have the sound on, of course, but I have it playing. I was watching it before we got on. But do you watch both organizations, or do you just watch one show? Or
I watch everything. Let me see that. Never mind. It's quiet. I watch AEW. I watch. Oh shoot! You over here? You exposed me. I tell the boys in the back. But I watch. I watch WWE, AEW, New Japan. I watch Ring of Honor, and I watch Impact sometimes. I won't say every time I watch Impact, but I watch Impact sometimes. And to be honest with you, one show that I really turn on and I watch on YouTube a lot is Reality of Wrestling, which is Booker T's. A lot of people don't watch that, but I'll be tuning in because...
What's that come on YouTube?
I'll be watching it on YouTube. Okay. Reality of Wrestling.
Reality of Wrestling? I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, man. And I was thinking, okay, Booker T got a wrestling company. Maybe he's wrestling, but nah, this is a whole group of wrestlers that he's bringing up. They're training under Booker T. Okay. And when I tell you, this is independent wrestling under the tutelage of Booker T, Reality of Wrestling, it's dope.
I'm gonna check that out here probably later. I've been watching. I don't watch it like I don't watch any of the organizations like every night they're on. A lot. Mm-hmm. I watch it when I'm at home, but a lot of times but I do like. I've been watching NXT here lately because I got interested in that Braun Breaker.
Oh yeah,
man.
The Steiner.
Yeah, I wish they had kept. I wish they had used the Steiner name, but man, he's a phenomenal athlete. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's dope.
we're gonna watch war. Actually, we're gonna do a live watch along this Sunday for NXT War Games.
Ooh, that's dope. That's dope. That's dope. The one thing I can say about that guy, the Steiner son. Uh, can you hear me?
Yep.
The one thing I can say about him is he has incredible talent. The guy that he reminds me of in AACW is Axel Cruz because he got so much talent and you just don't know what he got in store for you next. You know,
Yep.
like a big guy like that doing all of those things that he's doing is almost unheard of. So yeah, I like him.
But I've been watching a lot more independent wrestling here lately than I have anything since we started doing these shows, and then I'll hear about different guys. So I go try to watch different matches and stuff. And when you guys are going to come on for interviews, I try to find videos so I can watch some matches. And
I want to see Pac versus Darby Allin.
Yep, that'd be good.
I don't know why I've been wanting to watch that for a long time. Like I've been really wanting them to face off in AEW. Just really want to see that. But I want Travis Southern again. I want to face him one more time. I don't know. It's probably because he inboxed me today. He inboxed me today and said,
"You gonna face him 1-on-1?"
Yeah, I will. I will face him 1-on-1. Tell him he leave his pets in the back, and I'll leave my tag team partner in the back. He leave his little nut sack suckers in the back, which are what's his name? Hawaiian, Samoan, whatever his name is. He doesn't wear shoes. He sucks. And then Brody Botkins, aka Burger King. You leave them both in the back. Yeah, we can go ahead one more time. We can lock it up because he messaged me and said that I was never worthy to be a knight or whatever, and I should kiss his feet or worship the ground that he walked on because I wouldn't be here today without him or something like that. Either way it goes, he got me messed up. So I just want to fight Travis Southern again. Yeah.
I'd like to see it.
Yeah, man. Southern versus Cash 1 didn't go my way, but Southern versus Cash 2, I'm pretty sure I would put Old Yeller down. It's time for that.
Who's going to be in charge of making the matches now that the Hog's not there?
Hog's still there. Just Hog isn't
wrestling no more.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm thinking Hog is still going to be making the matches. Him and his his colleagues of matchmakers and stuff like that. But I'm glad I'm not in creative because I got so many crazy ideas that it doesn't even make sense sometimes. Like I'll be like, let's do and I'll just brainstorm. I'll be like, let's do a Rumble in the Jungle like Muhammad Ali and George Frazier, you know, or Joe Frazier, George Foreman. That's who it was, George Foreman. You know, let's go and let's set up the ring and set it all up. Get the barricades so the fans don't go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Get the chairs out there and let's do this at the park. Like, you know, and it's like. Just doesn't make sense, you know, like a lot of things just doesn't make sense, but I'll be so ready to work. I'll be so ready to go. It makes me wrestling means a lot to me because I wouldn't do as much as I do. Yeah. And Tyson Lane.
Said Tyson Lane.
He's the same way. I can see that. Yeah. The guy he picked up that big dude and slammed him.
You're cutting out.
Can you hear me? Yeah, hold on 1 second. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
I said Tyson Lane is the guy who picked up that big dude and slammed him.
Okay.
Like his passion for the business is incredible. So I would like to have a match against him. Let's see, you know, let's see how much he got. That kid is special.
When you go to these other companies and wrestle, or you see other guys, is there guys like out there in other places that you like have in your mind that you would like to work with?
Yes, all the time. I always want to I want to face Dex Royal. I want to face I want to face I want to face the Highlight Reel again. But if that doesn't happen, I'm cool with that. I want to face Jordan James. I want to face Mike King. I want to face Mitchell Taylor. I want to face uh, Kobe Jack, which is the cow guy. He has the cow face.
Yeah. That moves all the time. We saw him at WCWO one night.
I want to create a faction, and I want to go against Sollywood House. I want to do so much stuff. There's a huge legend in the business. His name is Congo Kong.
Yep.
I'd like to face him. I mean, granted, I might get my ass kicked, but I don't want to wish that I had a chance or opportunity to face somebody and I never did.
Yeah.
I want to face Damien DeVille. Actually, I want to face Damien DeVille in an ultimate submission match. There's only been one other ultimate submission match to my knowledge, and that was Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit in 2001 at Backlash. But that match was dope. I wanted to do one too. I want to face. So many people, man.
Most about everybody you named, I've seen wrestle.
You haven't seen all of them?
Yeah, I've seen all of them.
Oh, okay. All right, let me switch it up then.
Because we went to.
I want to face Josh Morrison. You know who that one is?
Nope.
No. He's fire, bro. He comes out with QBZR. I'm pretty sure I just said his name wrong. I'm so sorry about that. But Dobson, he comes out with Dobson, and he got his own theme song, and he's the life of the party. He's a cool guy.
What organization?
HCW.
HCW. Okay.
Yeah.
Chris Owens was telling me about up there because he said that he asked me if I'd be interested in going up there to do commentary sometime because he said he was going to talk to the guy if I was. I said, yeah, we go up there.
Yeah, bro. It's an experience to have. I would love to face Chris Owens. I'm pretty sure, and this is crazy because when I first started, yeah, I'm trained by Jay Chong, but Chris Owens was training me. So I would like to see, you know what I'm saying, if the student can beat the teacher. I want to beat Chris Owens. I want to face him. I want to face him in a match. I want to show him what I got. I want to show him that he didn't just talk to somebody that was going to give up on wrestling in 2.5 seconds. I want to show him that he left AACW too fast because now he don't see what I can do, and I want him to see what I can do plus more.
Yeah.
I wasn't diving through ropes when I fought Justin in the first match, the second or the third. But I'm diving through ropes now. I'm doing a lot more now, and I want to face Chris Owens and show him that I wasn't just a flash in the pan.
Then we're going to. Have you ever heard of that BMFX?
No.
It's in don't want to get confused. Lafayette. they're having a big show on the 18th. We're going down there to do commentary there.
I would like to go and check that one out.
And then on the 11th, we're going to be in Bloomington at that MPG. They have a card. James Storm is going to be there for that one.
Oh, that's fire. That's fire.
So we're going down there, and then we're also going to one on the 11th next Saturday. We're doing 2 next weekend. It's Saturday and Sunday. Saturday we're going to Fortville for that wrestling theology.
Mm-hmm.
We're going down there for their Blizzard Brawl on Saturday.
If you wonder what this is, man, Fago came out with a firework flavor, and it's like the firework popsicle is dope as hell.
Oh, I'm about to check that out. we got a little chicken wing place right down the street here in Muncie, and it's like the place where if you want Fago, that's where you go. They have like all kinds of different flavors.
Yeah.
Every time we order wings from there, I always get me a Fago.
Yeah, get you a flavor firework. Fago.
I have to check that out.
Man, I want to face Lucha Creato. I want to face everybody in AACW. I want to face everybody, including like Danny Zero. He wasn't at the last show, but I want to face Johnny Suede, Dark Suede, Johnny Suede. I want to face Chad Cross. Like, I want to face everybody. There's not a body that has been at AACW that I don't want to face, because I feel like AACW will be more than if we kick the door down. But we're only going to be where we are if we don't try to better ourselves. And we're dope, so we're going to better ourselves.
Oh yeah, we really enjoyed your guys' show that night. We went down there. We're waiting on Calcert to let us know when the next show is. So,
yeah,
because we're coming up for it too.
Yeah, man. ACW is something to see, man. The fans really like me. They really do. Like, when y'all call me the people's champion, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Y'all probably should have never said that.
I'm about to watch it back. I can't remember which one of us said it.
He said Christian Cash coming out. He said, "Oh, well, we found the people's champ." Like, oh snap, for real? Because the fans was going crazy for me, but I was like,
I bet you it was my cousin Steve, the redheaded guy. I bet you it was him that said it.
Probably, but all I know is I was over there, I'm watching it, I'm like, you damn right that's the people's champ. And I'll rock bottom anybody that disagree.
And he's funny if you watch him, his facial expressions, because he watched wrestling a little bit when he was a kid, but he was never like a big fan of it. Well, so we go to some of these wrestling shows, and he'll see something, and you'll see his face, and it's like he can't believe what he's seeing because he hasn't ever seen it before. Just his facial expressions kill you. Like he's gonna kill me for saying this, but he came over here the other day, and he'd been watching some WWE Network, and he'd watched one where it was a Undertaker Broken Skull sessions Undertaker was talking to Stone Cold. It was the second part.
Yeah,
and they were talking about how back in the day they didn't like Shawn Michaels. How back in the day he was pretty much a dick before he left and went to rehab and stuff. Well, then he said, man, I never even knew anything about the Montreal screw job. He said, I just found out about that yesterday. I said, what? I said, where the hell have you been, Stevie? So he's been watching WWE Network. He started way back so he could learn everything. But it was funny. Yeah. He goes, yeah, I didn't know that. And he goes, I didn't know Edge and Hardy was fighting over Lita.
There's so much stuff, man. There's so much stuff that happens. That a lot of people that just start watching wrestling, they'll be like so shocked. They'll be like, what was that? Somebody had came up to me and was like, "Hey, did you know that Kurt Angle and AJ Styles had a match?" Yeah, in 10 days. Well, when did this happen? You know, it happens. Stuff like that happens all the time, and it's like, yeah, man. Oh my goodness, it's so much stuff that happens all the time.
Have you had any fans try to attack you or anything?
I had a fan during the fans bring weapons match try to give Brody Box a knife to stab me.
Damn.
Yeah, but like I said, that was one of the craziest matches I've ever been a part of.
Oh yeah, you're going to send me a link because everybody keeps telling me about it, how good it was, but I haven't found. I was looking the other day online trying to find it.
Man, and it's crazy because I got the footage that I got. It doesn't have the whole match. It has like part 1, part 2, but it misses out on certain spots and stuff like that. So I won't be able to show you the full match, but I'll show you enough of the match to where you're like, okay, this was fucking dope.
Well, I can already imagine. I saw how crazy them fans was at the last show. I couldn't imagine if you let the fans bring weapons. Because, hey, that's one thing I will say. That Kokomo crowd, they were into the show. It was cool.
And that's what I love about the Kokomo wrestling. Wrestling in Kokomo. The fans get so into it that you lose yourself in the moment. You know, like I didn't know. I knew we was gonna face Brody. I knew we were gonna face Brody because I knew like from my feeling, the feeling that I had, I was like, I'm gonna call his ass out again. Like I had already had my mind made up at the end of the show. I was gonna call his ass out again, regardless. But Justin grabs the mic and he goes, "Fans bring the weapons," and the crowd goes crazy. And I'm like, yeah, and I get into the back and I look at Justin. I go, "Fans bring the weapons," and he goes, "Trust me, bro, it's fine." He said, "But to be honest with you, I lost myself out there." And so you never really know in Kokomo because you get so lost in the moment. Like with Shane loses himself in the moment. Even though he's not a wrestler anymore, Shane will get on the mic at the end of the show and talk for 3 hours if you don't take the mic out of his hand. Well, that's the show, fellas. That's the show, ladies and gentlemen. Come back next month. We'll have a show on the 18th. And let me tell you something 1 second, fans, before y'all leave. Mike King, you son of a bitch. I'm like, bro, calm down.
You might not see
hours of you talking on the mic.
You might have not seen it because you was part of that match, but at the end, when Mike King's after all that happened and he has the mic and he's talking to Shane and Shane's on the outside of the ring, there was probably 8 people that got up out of their seats, walked around, walking toward the door and flipping Mike King off all the way to the door until they were out of the building. I was rolling. I said, man, he's getting some heat.
Man, major heat. When you fuck over J.H. Hogg and Kokomo, you're not going to be received well. I remember when I was a heel, man, and I kind of got into a shoot promo spar with J.H. Hogg, man. And the one thing that I know about me is I don't pull back when I cut my promos, especially like I know I cut deep. But I told him that he needed to go out to his car, grab his pops overalls and grab his pops boots, and he was like, "Well, first thing you need to do is keep my mouth out your daddy's neck." And he was like, my dad's name, my pop's mouth out my daddy. And he was just stumbled up on it. And I was like, and after the camera cut off, Shane was like, Jesus fuck, you stumped me, bro. Like he got me. And I was like, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even know half of the things that I'm gonna say before I open my mouth and speak. But that's why I like being Christian Cash, because I don't know what the hell I'm gonna say. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do out there. All I know is Christian Taylor and Christian Cash are two separate people. If you meet Christian Cash and Christian Cash is a good guy, you're in good hands. If you meet Christian and he's a bad guy, you're in good hands. Like you never know what the fuck you gonna get. You don't know what I'm gonna do.
Which one do you like doing? Which one do you like doing better?
I like pissing people off as Christian Cash a lot more. In different areas. I like being a face in Kokomo, but I like being a heel everywhere else, because I haven't been a face anywhere else, but I know as a heel, like in HCW fucking hates me. Right? I think I'm still probably top 3 most hated when I go out there. Like, I went out there and I even like, come on guys, hasn't it been a great show? Give it up for your HCW. Let me hear you guys. And they start cheering, and I'm like, just what I thought, a whole bunch of nothing from a piece of trash ass sound like Mr. Walker. And they go ballistic. They like, what the hell do you think you're doing? And man, yeah, it was a very great experience at HCW, man. It was a great experience, but the greatest experience I've had has been in AACW, because AACW was the first time that I even got the experience, and it was the first time that somebody was like actually taking a chance on me and putting their belief in me as a pro wrestler. So that's why it doesn't matter if I'm a face there, it doesn't matter if I'm a heel there. I'm gonna give 110% regardless, but I'm giving my heart and soul. Like, I know that I'm giving my heart and soul in AACW, and that's what I like. That's what I like about AACW, because you really don't have a choice. The fans don't give you a choice. Yeah, you're either gonna be you or you're gonna get booed. It doesn't matter if you're face. It doesn't matter if you're heel. If you're not you, you get booed. that's how Kokomo fans go. That's how the Kokomo crowd is. The same with HCW and stuff like that, though, because they like cheer me sometimes, but they really be booing me. WCWO, I don't know. Like, they booed me the first couple of times, and then it's like, I don't know. The last time I was there, they was kind of cheering me, but they were booing me at the same time. So I was like, what am I, John Cena? It's like, let's go, Christian sucks.
Was that Thanksgiving show pretty cool?
The Thanksgiving show was dope. I actually faced Hadari one-on-one, and when I tell you, I think he broke my ribs with the spear. Like, he basically cut me in half. That guy is something. He's somebody that I'm gonna beat the hell out of him.
When we was down there, him and Brody went at it.
Yeah, I gotta beat the hell out of Hadari. Yeah, because
I know they're in Kokomo, the ceiling's a little low, so you guys couldn't do nothing on the top and stuff like that. Now, when you go to these other places, does that ever like get in your mind? Oh, I can't do that, just because you're not used to it.
No, but at training, when I was wrestling with some people, they was like, yo, you a smaller guy. Why don't you do like some of the smaller people moves? Like, yeah, you worked the leg and stuff like that, and you made it all about the leg, but you're doing like old school wrestling. Like, you're not going to the ropes. You're not even thinking about going to the ropes. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And in my head, I'm like, I forgot about the top rope. Like, kind of took it out. But I have jumped up there, and I have been doing flips and stuff off the top rope, but I haven't done them in the shows yet, and I will. But right now, I think I like rather teasing it versus me actually doing it, because
then
I think I did.
it'll mean, because then when you do it, it'll mean more.
Yeah, like I think I jumped to the top rope and at WCWO, and I looked at the fans and I go, "You guys don't deserve me jumping off the top rope." And I go to the middle and drop an elbow.
Yeah, that was the night I was there. I remember that because I started when you said that, I started cracking up.
Yeah, so that one was pretty cool. But honestly, I do like jumping off the top rope and stuff. I haven't done it yet. I want my character to speak, and make it more meaningful. Like the top rope is something that's is basically guaranteed when you see wrestling nowadays, and it's not like something that's surprising. I want that big pop when I find, like, if I jump off that top rope, I want them to be like, yeah, I want that crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, he fucking jumped off the top rope.
You don't see many matches without top rope or somebody jumping in through the ropes outside or over the top rope outside. Yeah. You see a lot of that now.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you this again. So people, like the people that watch this, my favorite wrestler is The Rock. The Rock did not jump off the top rope. The Rock did not jump through the middle rope.
Nope.
I do not have to do that to entertain these fans.
Nope.
I do what I want.
Well, think about it too. Like, there's a lot of guys that back then you didn't see a lot of guys get up on the top rope as much.
Yeah, like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
You didn't see him do that. Like, he even started doing some middle rope stuff, like the elbow from the middle rope, but he didn't do no fucking top rope shit. The Rock wasn't jumping off the top rope with a fucking crossbody. Like, he probably did it as Rocky Maivia, but he stopped that shit as soon as possible.
Well, you gotta watch what you do too, because wear and tear on your body.
Yeah.
Because you want if you want to have longevity.
Like, look at John Cena. John Cena wasn't jumping off the top rope. He wasn't jumping through the middle rope. Once he started doing that leg drop from the top rope, he got his leg broke by Batista. Like, he got his neck broke first, and then he got fucked up even more. And like, you don't have to do all that springboard, flashy, dancy stuff to get over, because you don't really necessarily need it. Hulk Hogan didn't really do nothing but a big boot and a leg drop and Hulk up.
It was one of the most over wrestlers ever.
One of the most over wrestlers ever. Came out, did hand gestures to "I can't hear you."
Yeah.
Say it louder. A Hulk up, punches, toss you off the rope, a big boot and a leg drop.
And it was over.
And people was like, "Oh my God, this is crazy. This is incredible."
Same thing with the Ultimate Warrior. He done a couple of clotheslines, a press.
Ultimate Warrior. And then
splash
while he was on the ground.
Yep.
The ultimate splash. It didn't do nothing. It didn't do nothing at all. You just strong as hell. That's what you did. You beat him with your strength.
And one of the guys I never was a fan of, Goldberg, he was the same way.
A spear and a jackhammer.
Yep.
Maybe a career-ending kick to the face. Like.
Yeah.
Goldberg is a dangerous person. He probably.
I don't know how that dude got over as big as he did, because he.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a Goldberg fan. I was a Goldberg fan.
I never was.
I was. I liked Goldberg, especially as a kid.
And I really don't know why I wasn't a Goldberg fan. I don't know. I think it was because the way WCW done it, his entrance was like 30 minutes long, it seemed like. And then
so was Undertaker's. The Undertaker has the longest.
Oh yeah, Undertaker is too. It was just, I don't know. He done that spear and the jackhammer, and that was about it. I never got behind him. Guy I was a big fan of, which it's kind of, people don't like you to say his name, but Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit was a hell of a fucking wrestler.
Man, Chris Benoit fucking amazing, savage.
He was. I was a big Benoit fan. Benoit and Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, they are two people that are like synonymous with the word of wrestling, and what WWE like did. Granted, they had to, but at the same time, you're trying to blackball like an important piece to why your company is so successful.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you had a negative from the Chris Benoit name, right? Yeah, you got a negative from his name. Why don't you make a positive out of his son? Like, you didn't sign his son because you thought, oh, well, they're not gonna, you know what I'm saying?
I think they didn't sign his son because they was afraid of a backlash from fans.
Yeah, yeah, but at the same time, you got to think about this. You signed a whole bunch of people that have like you fire Enzo prematurely, Enzo Amore, and he told y'all about the shit, but he told y'all he didn't do it, and he was found innocent, and y'all didn't even try to give him his job back.
Yeah.
He was one of the people that he was like one of y'all number one sellers.
Oh, he was killer on the mic.
Then Hit Row never got off the ground once you got them to the main roster because you let them go. So the people that got talent nowadays, they'll let go before they can even shine. So back then versus now, I feel like Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, and other wrestlers like them, they got big, and then Eddie Guerrero passed away. You know, that was a tragedy. Chris Benoit's death kind of made it harder for indie wrestlers to get in WWE because they don't know like your backstory. They don't know if you're depressed or anything like that. But WWE also should have realized that Chris Benoit had fucking CTE.
Yeah. And he had CTE, and he was never right after Eddie died.
Yeah. And then on top of that, he's asking for help. Like, if you look at, have you seen the movie Concussion?
Yes.
The movie Concussion, you'll see the football players go to somebody before they die, before they commit suicide, before anything tragic happens. They go to somebody for help. I don't know what's wrong with me. Can you help me, please?
Yeah.
There was a guy in Dark Side of Wrestling that Chris Benoit went to. He was like, yeah, I can do a study on you or whatnot, but he never got back to Chris Benoit. And then Chris Benoit ended up killing himself.
Yeah.
But Chris Benoit had tried to get help.
Well, he sent somebody a message, and he sent a wrestler a message and told him something about, I think he said, take care. I forget what he's told him now, but it was in that Dark Side of the Ring. Benoit messaged a wrestler before.
I forgot which one it was. I think it was Chris Jericho.
Yeah, I think it was Jericho. Because Jericho was on that. He was on that Dark Side of the Ring quite a bit during that episode.
Yeah. Because, like, what a lot of people try to base their wrestling locker room and stuff off of, is a home field, and that's exactly what it's supposed to be. Because if you look at the Attitude Era, everybody was over. Like, any of those characters now could probably be the WWE champion, and it'd be entertaining. You can put the strap on fucking Godfather.
Yep.
You know.
We were talking about the Godfather character the other day.
Yeah, you can. You take me to Jasmine's. All right. You can put the strap on anybody. Like what's his name? D'Lo Brown. You messing with the real deal now. Like you can put the strap on literally anybody from the Attitude Era / Ruthless Aggression era, and they would be the biggest star today. like Spike Dudley. You could literally put the strap on any of them because they cared enough and they believed in enough and they were like a family. It was family oriented. That's why it was more realistic. It was more believable because these guys was willing to do whatever to entertain the fans, but not only to entertain the fans, but to also make sure this company stayed afloat. And nowadays, it seems like most of the wrestlers is out for themselves. What can I do to make myself look good to where the other company wants me? Why don't you make the one company a home, build that company up, and the other companies are going to try to get you regardless because they see loyalty in you. They see a person that can carry this company and take it to new heights. But without you, that company probably doesn't make it. So why don't we try to get you? You know, because you showed that loyalty. You showed all of that. That's important to a lot of promoters. Loyalty, respect, trust.
I'd say trust is probably real important both ways with the promoter and the wrestler.
Facts. That's a fact. You have to trust somebody.
Trust can be hard to get, but it's easy to lose.
Yeah. And this nowadays is crazy, man. I don't think that there's a lot of wrestlers that want to wrestle indies, but they want the big result fast, and that's why you see a lot of them quit early. Some of them
They don't want to pay their dues and work their way up.
Yeah, they want to
start on the top.
Yeah, they want to be where Shawn Michaels is on their first match. You know, like my first match, I should be in WWE. No, you shouldn't. They don't know you.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
That's not how it works
Like,
in any.
my first match to be main event. Why? What did you do to get there?
Yeah. And that don't work in any business. You just don't go in a business and start on top.
Yeah. Like The Rock started as Rocky Maivia and he got his debut at Survivor Series in the Survivor Series match. Classic 5-on-5 elimination, where he's carried by 9 other veterans.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? All right, that's his start. Stunning Steve Austin, starting WCW, like they all get to work with veterans and they learn from these people and they get better as the days go by. But at the same time, you don't get to start out on the same level as the superstar you're looking up to.
No. And Survivor Series used to be when Vince would bring a lot of them new guys in, because like you said, they'd be doing them 5-on-5 matches, and they were working with all them veterans.
Yeah, like there's a great feud between Randy Orton and Undertaker. Great feud between Undertaker and Randy Orton. Why is that so important? Because you have someone that's new in the business still, he's learning, even though he is great. He's Randy Orton. He's, destined for greatness. But he's got that veteran to help him out. He got that veteran to teach him the ropes,
Yeah.
because you're learning. Every day you're learning. Even if you're in a match, you're still learning. You're learning from people. You're learning from yourself. You're learning what you do. Yeah.
And who else better to learn from than the Undertaker?
Not many. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not many people that's gonna be better than the Undertaker. Undertaker went from being a zombie to a motorcycle badass.
Yeah.
And nobody questioned it. Nobody questioned it. Yep, that's him. That's Undertaker.
And look at the Undertaker. He didn't start on top. He had people at WCW that told him nobody would ever pay to watch him wrestle.
Right. And then they wanted him to come back as Mean Mark Calloway with a motorcycle gimmick. but he's so close to Vince
Yeah.
that if he wanted a motorcycle gimmick, all he had to do is say, "Hey, I'm about to come out on a motorcycle." Vince would be like, "Okay."
Sounds good. Yeah, he was so loyal to Vince after he got over there. They wasn't going to get him away from Vince.
Yeah, yeah, and it's just so many things in the wrestling today is different from how it was back in the day. You know, like the loyalty to one company, I don't feel like it's the same as it was back then. Like if you were a WWF/WWE guy, you were literally a WWF/WWE guy. You weren't this, that, and the third. You know, you were. I'm WWE.
Yeah.
All right. Or I was WCW, or I was TNA. You know, like you're full throttle with that company, and that's why TNA flourished as much as it did, because AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, like they're homegrown TNA stars. They weren't shining anywhere else before they got there.
Yeah.
I mean, Christian gave it that exposure and that extra push, but it was still the homegrown superstars that put that company on their back, that brought it to the heights that it did, to where a star named like Christian would even think about signing to him. You know.
Yep.
So. Yeah.
Why do you think it's changed so much? Think
because
social media and stuff has something to do with it?
Yeah, I feel like the more exposure to social media, the more exposure to wrestling that the social media got to, the behind the scenes and stuff like that. The killing of kayfabe really kind of ended a lot of things, you know. And I feel like the ending of that showed that the ending of the loyalty and the, you know, the home base companies. Like Kurt Angle is a WWE guy. Yep. He's homegrown WWE. All right.
Brock Lesnar
is another homegrown WWE guy. Actually, he's never wrestled for another company. No, wait, did he wrestle in New Japan? I think he did.
I'm not sure.
I have to look it up again, but it's so many people that look at that and like, I think Randy Orton is another one that's homegrown, you know. So all of these wrestlers that are wrestling, that are homegrown, are full throttle WWE people, but your loyalty and your trust in the company and that return trust speaks volumes. You know, this speaks volumes. 16-time world champion John Cena, 16-time champion Ric Flair, you know. Randy Orton is a 13-time, you know. Triple H is 14, 15, you know. And so my loyalty got me this far. My trust in this company and my belief in this company.
Has Edge wrestled for anybody else?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think he has either.
I think he teased it a couple times, like he was gonna leave, and he didn't.
He's my son's favorite.
And so, when it comes down to it, that exposure lost the value of the mystique of a wrestler. You know, like
you used to not know much about a wrestler's personal life at all.
When I was growing up, me being a Rock fan, I knew The Rock as a wrestler. I didn't know Dwayne Johnson.
You knew what you saw on TV.
Yeah, I knew The Rock. I didn't know Dwayne. Even when he started wrestling, even when he started doing his movies, Scorpion King and Rundown, all of that, I still only knew The Rock. But that's who I chose to know. You know.
Yep.
Like, still to this day, a lot of people be like, "Oh, do you follow The Rock on Instagram?" Yes, I do. That's besides the point. But I don't watch him. You know, I don't watch his personal life because it's gonna kill the mystique of The Rock to me.
Yeah.
I don't wanna kill that character and have him be just Dwayne to me. because he's The Rock. He's that larger than life superstar to me, and that's like a choice for me. A lot of people don't choose to still have that nostalgia about people. Like if somebody asks me about Mark Calloway, I don't have an answer. If you ask me about Undertaker, he's from Death Valley and he kicks ass.
Taker was one of the last ones to finally give in the breaking kayfabe. He kept it longer than about anybody. Tried to anyway.
Yeah. And when when he finally gave into it, they was like, "Oh, gigs up." But the curtain call got them backlash for what at that point? You know?
Yeah.
Why doesn't Triple H become a 16-time world champion, maybe 17? Why doesn't Randy Orton, since Ric Flair says this guy should be the guy to break the streak, why doesn't he become a 17-time world champion?
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know. They didn't need to have Lesnar break the streak against Undertaker.
I think it was the perfect call.
Yeah.
You know why? You know why I think it's the perfect call? Because no one's seen it coming.
Well, that's true.
No one's seen it coming. Yes, Brock Lesnar is huge. Yes, Brock Lesnar is a larger than life athlete. But Brock Lesnar just came back. There's no way Brock Lesnar is going to beat him.
Hell no.
All the odds are stacked against him.
No, I'm not. No.
Yeah, they were all.
I'll take you back over there, but hell no. No.
You know,
I'll just get off right there. No.
Undertaker losing that streak to him. Undertaker losing that streak to Brock Lesnar, perfect, because now, boom, oh snap! So now anything can happen, you know.
Yeah.
And then you got Paul Heyman, like, yo, what did you think was gonna happen? You know, and he got his mouthpiece with Brock Lesnar, so it makes Brock Lesnar even more.
Paul Heyman's reaction when Lesnar won, his face and stuff. Man, Heyman's great.
And I don't know if it was a technical difficulty or not, but the fact that they left the music off for like 5 minutes before they played Brock Lesnar's music.
Yeah.
The crowd went nuts. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you heard it. Boos from everywhere. That's how you instantly get over.
It's some of the pictures they showed of the fans.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
What'd you say?
With the glasses, his eyes all extra big.
Yeah.
Man, that dude, bro. He literally made the match low key because he's like it gives you that shock factor. It gives you that shock factor. Nowadays you don't have that. Nowadays you don't have that.
Before we get out of here, do you have anything you want to plug?
I have a show on Amazon Prime Video called Canary Currency. It's on its second season. If you want to watch the first season for free, then go ahead and go to Tubi. Tubi has Canary Currency on it. Just look it up, Canary Currency. I play the character Sean. I also have music. It's on Apple Music, Spotify, and iTunes. Well, Apple Music and iTunes the same thing. So
what's your name is your music under?
My rap group is called Frag Out, and we have songs on there called Solid, Represent, Cootie Bird, etc. So it's exciting. It's very exciting. I like to mix it up. Everything that I was always challenged with, I always try to overcome it. Like when I was growing up, and I started doing my music. Somebody told me, man, you'll never get your music out there, bro. You'll never make it. So I made it further than them, and now they're fans. You know, when they was like, I wouldn't be
I'm gonna check it out.
Oh yeah, I'll send you some links, man. I'll definitely send you some links. But I'm always motivated, and my family keeps me motivated. Like they'll be like, look, you better put your foot on their necks, man, and go crazy, go hard, because I need that. You know, I need that. Sometimes I'll fall back. I'll be like, yo, are you sure you think I can do it, babe? You a Taylor. You do it. You say you're gonna do something, you do it. And they always that's my belief system, my family. So if you if y'all if y'all heard me on there, man, check out Canary Currency, check out Frag Out on Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, um, and check out my wrestling on WCWO, AACW. If I finally get my match against Mike King, DCCW, street fight against Travis Southern if he won't smoke. Let's, anything, Yeah, y'all can find me anywhere with wrestling because I'm not stopping no time soon.
My dad said that we need you and your tag team partner versus the highlight reel in Muncie at DCCW.
I'm down for that. If highlight real see this, if y'all up to the challenge, man, let's see who the real tag team is. Let's see who the real greatest tag team is.
It'd be a fun match to watch. I know that.
It'd be a fun match to do. It'd be an even greater match to win. But that's another conversation. All right, guys.
Well, man, I appreciate you joining us.
Thank you, man. Thank you. It was an honor. It was a privilege.
I would love to have you back on again.
Oh man, just call me or book me whenever, and I'll definitely be here for it.
What size shirt you wear?
A size large.
All right.
All right.
I'll bring you a shirt Friday at the WCWO thing.
Okay, bet. Yeah, for sure. I'll probably even wear it out to my match.
All right.
My match, man.
Yep, I'll bring it with me Friday.
Yeah, Friday I'm looking to hit a couple people with some rock bottoms, a couple people's elbows, maybe do a couple stone cold stunners. And lastly, I want to hit the highlight reel with a couple pedigrees.
Couple pedigrees.
Nah, I've never done a pedigree, only because I don't like Triple H.
I think the reason some people don't like Triple H is because of the first gimmick he had when he was Hunter Hearst Helmsley. I think a lot of people hated him then, and then when he switched, they just kind of kept hating him.
Nah, Triple H has always been that great of a guy, but Hunter Hearst Helmsley was definitely one of the ones that started the big heat for him. But when he joined DX,
oh yeah,
I think that's what got him that popularity. But they always knew that they was like that he could control a crowd as a heel.
Because
and that's why he became such a badass.
Him and Shawn together in DX they just had such good chemistry.
Yeah, that was amazing. Nowadays you don't see people walking around ballooning people. Thank God, because I don't want to see ass. But it's just I think that's what really that's probably the DOW, death for wrestling, man. When you PG it, you kill it.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff they done back in the Attitude Area and Ruthless Aggression area that if they done now, people be trying to cancel them.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm a resurrect wrestling. I'm telling you, by the end of my career or the end of my life, I'm a resurrect wrestling. I'm telling you that. That's why I know I'm a sell out Lucas Oil Stadium, and then I'm a sell it out again, and then I'm gonna sell out it again. I'm going to continue to sell out the Lucas Oil Stadium and tell everybody you think this is the premier place to do your business. I want the Super Bowl here again. I want the WrestleManias here. I want y'all to choose Lucas Oil Stadium.
Both of y'all.
I want you to look at Indianapolis and go, you know what? That's a premier state. That Lucas Oil Stadium is the spot to be.
And downtown's set up perfect for hosting events like that because there's so much stuff in walking distance and.
It is. Yo, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, man, it's a perfect spot. Because when that Super Bowl happened, when Tom Brady lost, when that Super Bowl happened, like it was perfect. The downtown events that led up to, like we had a whole little party leading up to the Super Bowl. Once it was announced, then during that, like people were going crazy out there. I went out there with my mom, man. That's a special moment for me. I wanna do something to where I know my mom is looking down from heaven and she's smiling at me like, look at my boy go. And I'm not gonna stop until I do it. So thank you guys for tuning in to watch Christian Kash do Christian Kash work. But I'm more than just Christian Kash, man. I'm also Young C. I'm also Christian Taylor. I'm also Sean and Canary Currency. Like I'm going to make it for my mom, man.
Oh, Canary Currency, you said that was on Amazon?
Amazon Prime Video.
All right.
And Tubi.
Okay. I'll check that out on Amazon later tonight as well.
It's free on Tubi. It's free on Tubi.
If you have Prime on Amazon, you get it?
No, you still got to pay like 99 cents.
Okay.
That dude is loud with his British accent. Turn right to that. Like, hey.
I changed it to a voice because I don't like bitches talking to me.
I'm still on the dang on. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. Yeah, anyway, my bad.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm always with my family, man. I'm always with my family. They some characters themselves, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I'm usually with my family, but they all at work tonight.
Nah, we did say bye, but they don't. Oh man, you know I seen Shane was there with y'all, and I was like, oh, do I have to go over there? But I'm scared of dogs.
No, if you want to come through, I'll keep the dog outside.
But I gotta walk outside to get to the inside, so it's still.
Oh, he won't get. No, you go through a different door. You don't even have to go by him.
Sweet. That's my kind of party right there.
Yeah, like I said, we're doing a live watch along this weekend for the NXT War Games, and we're gonna have a couple guests in here with us for that on Sunday. So
that's definitely gonna be dope.
Trying to stay busy.
Man, I'm gonna tune in, man. I'm gonna keep tuning in. I'm gonna keep watching, man.
We appreciate it. I saw you was on the sports betting show the other day. I was like, hell yeah, he's on here.
Yeah, I like to put my money on the Colts, and that's the reason why I had to leave before I bet and gambled with some money that I knew was not mine at that time. So I had to get out of there before I spent the fast money.
Oh yeah, that's my problem too. I like to bet on the Colts too much. I thought for sure. Yeah, but
they lost me.
Right here.
I'll be watching again this Sunday and hoping we turn it around.
Yeah, for sure. We winning against the Houston Texans, man.
The next week is New England, or 2 weeks.
Nah.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
I think we have a bye, don't we?
We better, yeah. Yeah, we play the Houston Texans this weekend, and then I think the next weekend we play the Patriots. Or I think we got a bye week before we play the Patriots.
Yeah, I think we have a bye week and then play the Patriots.
Yeah.
So they moved the Patriots game to a Saturday night game.
That's gonna be a crazy game though.
It starts like at 8 o'clock on Saturday night.
That's gonna be a crazy game. But
The destination is on your left. 5313 Little Creek Court.
all right.
You her sister? Yeah, I'm just making sure she. Okay, I'm just making sure she was going with. Okay. No, I want her to have it right off nobody else.
70 Williams still alive.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
I'm trying to be having no kids messed up.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's just so much stuff that happens nowadays. The Colts, they can't go. They ain't gonna keep letting me down. I know they ain't.
hey, the year they won the Super Bowl last time, nobody expected them to win it then.
Yeah, you heard that? So put some respect on their name. You gonna quit being disrespectful.
No, you have much faith.
You gonna quit being disrespectful on my live.
When we switched the room up for our sports show, we used to have a big Colts banner up and Colts jerseys and.
Man, yeah, that's the way I'm gonna design my house actually, with a whole bunch of Colts stuff. And whoever don't like the Colts can kiss the damn walking mat on their way out the damn door.
I keep telling my girlfriend I'll decorate the living room all Colts stuff or Cincinnati Reds because she's a big Chicago Cubs fan.
Oh man, she'll probably destroy you. She'll probably stab you. Don't do that. Don't do this. Do the White Sox. Do Chicago White Sox.
My sister and her family are all White Sox fans because they live in Chicago.
I'm a huge White Sox fan, and when I tell people that, people be like they'll laugh at me. Like, that's my favorite baseball team. My favorite baseball team is the White Sox, and it was because everybody else was cheering for the Yankees.
So I'm a big Cincinnati fan.
Yeah, I'm not.
I have Pete Rose tattooed on my leg.
Oh yeah, you're a diehard. You're a diehard.
Yeah, he was my favorite baseball player of all time, and then I have the Reds mascot on the other side of my leg.
My favorite thing that Pete Rose was a part of was that tombstone from Kane. Yeah. But
and like my son, he's an Arizona Cardinals fan. And I think he'd done that just because he didn't want to be a Colts fan because I was a Colts fan.
oh yeah.
Plus, he was a big Larry Fitzgerald fan, so
hating like that. They be hating like that.
Oh,
they always gonna hate us, bro. They hate us because they ain't us.
All right, man. I appreciate your time tonight.
Oh yeah, thank you, bro.
It didn't even feel like we've been talking this long, but it's been a while.
How long have we been talking?
2.5 hours.
Damn. All right.
I didn't realize we'd been talking that long. I looked up and was like, damn it, it's 8:30.
Yeah. Shit.
Hey, that's about how long we talked with Calzert the other day.
Man, I guess I'm the one with the big mouth, huh?
He was I think he was 2 hours and 40 minutes. Hey, I mean, that just means it was a good conversation because I didn't realize it was that long.
Yeah, I thought it was like maybe an hour. Yeah. You knew that whole time?
No, yes, I did, Mr. Wind. Hang up.
Jesus Christ. All right, man. I'll talk to y'all next time, man. I'll see you on Friday.
All right, man. Thanks for joining us.
No problem. Thank you.
All right. Later.